And we're back! Streaming live from the gaping pit of what Manly Badass Hero would call his soul. That's a reference, I'm not insulting him, please. Anyway, let's continue. Was I gonna be stuck here until I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. There's plenty of dead bodies here which will provide me food. And there's probably fire somewhere. Oh yeah, Celeste was burnt pretty well. Delicious. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remember all too well what had happened. How would you know if Alter Ego even saved you? They were behind you, on a screen, which is directly above your head. Maybe, I don't know. Alter Ego saved me. And they used up the last bit of their strength to do it. So I can't give up now. It's an A, I don't think... How would it use up the last of its strength? I don't know. Myself and for my friend. This is gonna be like a cool little segment where I'm going through like the old parts of the school and Alter Ego is guiding me. That'd be cool. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. Hey, look! That's a rocket and a tank. Oh wait, that's the rocket from the intro. I better not to think about too much about what I'm seeing here. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. You have like plenty of steel plates here. Getting out of here isn't gonna be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of... Well, there's tanks. I'm certain there's some sort of explosive still there. I decided to look around for some food. Well, that's the trash pit. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure what liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? I guess by smell, but you don't have much else than that. Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on both sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, next thing I decided to do was check to see if the video was recording. And indeed it is. Go to sleep, I guess. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. You can eat. Yeah, there's no dry food down here. This is the trash pit. Can't be sure, but I think at least a day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. I felt like I was waiting for some kind of a sign to come flying out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. Trash! What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, a pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Food and water, I would hope. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out towards whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
Giant piece of trash. Rude. But before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells
This
awful.
place smells awful. You could have just put regular food down here. Quico?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. Falling on hard metal beams. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Quico, but we're all going to die. You've got a bit of garbage in here. So gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, and then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Yes, bread and water. Couldn't you give me something? Couldn't you give me something more substantial than bread? Thank you for caring to my basic needs. I snatched the bread and water that it was holding out to me. In seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way towards my stomach. That really hit the spot. All that bread. You must not have been that hungry if bread filled you up. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. What's in the trash? There's an unbelievable amount of trash here. But Koiko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Well, no. To atone. Atone.
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you.
I...
Abandoned you. Don't say that, you didn't abandon me, even though you very clearly did abandon me and left me to die. That's a theme with you, isn't it? You're like, first you let me get hit with a baseball bat just to see if it would happen. And then you let me almost get crushed by a freaking anvil guillotine contraption. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. Indeed you did. You were trying to save me and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason I had to survive, no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
So I can live, you dumb idiots. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to the school to do. Get a degree in an education, and then pass and work at a McDonald's for the rest of my life. What? McDonald's? I made up my mind to come to Hope Peak Academy for one important reason. Were you part of the great tragedy or something? So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak.
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did once. Once. Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia? Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school? The first thing. We slept? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, then I woke up, and I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within me. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I came to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's not that hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. I saying you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. Then why take you in the first place? So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it can also mean... Somehow my memories can be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always a chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. It's obviously... I forget his name. He's the guy that kind of looks like Yu-Gi-Oh! Mr. Ultimate Clairvoyant. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then it means, of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into the missing mystery by herself.
However,
That being said, there was limits to what I could do by myself. Which is why I asked you to help me. And I almost got you killed, twice. Actually, no, 3 times if I remember correctly. Getting you almost stabbed in your bed. Why me? Because among everyone, you would the least likely be the mastermind. I was just intuitive, but I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand.
I'm too boring to be the mastermind. Because of my absolutely dead personality, no one would suspect me.
I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
In this trash pile. Like Oscar the Grouch. Just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay? Yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Especially this being a new record for betrayals for self-gain. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. What else do you have to say? You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember. But at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. I'm assuming you were here before as a student. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for, was the ultimate mortician. I touch dead bodies a lot. I'm the ultimate detective. The ultimate detective.
correct.
You're gonna star in your own noir film? I've been playing LA Noir recently, and you don't seem the type. You're not yelling at people and being extremely overreactive. And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here at the school. You had to find someone? Who?
So,
Well, it was the headmasters of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why do you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What? Plot twist.
in other words,
They were separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. And, okay, I thought it wasn't recording my voice, but it is. That would be rather tragic if I lost all of that, because that's important dialogue. Waco's dad. Is Hope's Peak's headmaster? Then that explains. When Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find a headmaster. So much of a detective you are, you couldn't find him in a singular building.
no matter what,
No matter the cost, no matter how many times Makoto has to get brain trauma, I will send him out again for his head to incur bodily harm.
So,
Koiko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
however,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't a headmastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said that based on what I've seen when I was snuck into the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there?
so,
The room had been ransacked. Shelves were a mess and the desk straws were dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know what anything was has been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes. To confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Is this some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. God. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Makoto's profile on that key. The map showed the second floor was home to a number of rooms actually meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight for most of the time. Trash room. And I figured the headmaster would have had some kind of private room there. I assumed if that were true, then that room would likely hold clues. So I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So they went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So, what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. As if killing a bunch of students for entertainment isn't horrific enough. What do you mean?
so
I can't explain it. You'll need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important. And really ominous. What else do you have to say? Oh.
however,
Of course, once I got to oh yeah. This is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. That has to do with Mikuro Ikusawa, doesn't it?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you were right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with it, the point of the trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
indeed.
I saw that key disappear in retaliation. They wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. Why am I yawning? It's not that boring. It's rather interesting, in fact. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope Speak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like mastermind themselves is somehow bound to the school regulations.
hey,
There's only one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mikuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mikuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. Huh?
indeed.
There's a point where it could have become the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean during the night?
I
I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the God of Death. What? I can hear the God of Death as he moves. It's because I've touched all those dead bodies. They gave me the secret ability to do that. It's my favorite perk. The ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread when I looked down the stairwell. And I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away.
correct.
I ran to your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
But that wasn't the end of things, of course. stopped them. That led to... Whoever the master assailant was, they ended up dead.
Correct.
And the murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all had to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So this would all mean that whoever killed Mukuro is the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. Palkia is the most likely. Well, no, he's just very likely. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Yes, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is the contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So, what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair. There's no doubt that Mukuro is the ultimate despair. He's dead. I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair?
It would seem...
The despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're,
Indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. Huh. Heard something. And that is our real enemy. Yay! I don't know what the hell to do with fast food, but you know, whatever. No one died, except for the secret student, but who cares about her? To be continued. To be continued when? In the next episode. I say it's gone on long enough. See ya.